Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Disrupt Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Chevy, and I have a special guest with me today. We're going to talk all things CEO mindset. And before we get started, let me just introduce myself. If you're new to my space, welcome. I am Chevy Mack, the founder of Mack Leadership Academy. And what I do, I really guide women leaders to shift their mindset, leadership, and well being to navigate business and career without losing themselves in the process. So, definitely, I hope you enjoy this episode. I am going to bring my guest on right now. And let's welcome my guest, Cassandra. We've been practicing how to. Well, I've been practicing how to say her name for the last several days. But please pronounce your name so the audience can know how to pronounce it. Because I don't like to jack people's name up because I try to at least try to get it, but I get it. I may not get it correctly.
No, it's definitely challenging, especially if you don't speak French because it's a French name. So my name is Cassandra because you have to hold the R. So yes, so I'm happy to be here, Chevy, and thank you for having me here because I'm excited to share this moment with your audience and getting to know them and talking all about CEO mindset.
Yes, yes. Thank you. I'm gonna say Cassandra. Can I just say Cassandra?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. No, thank you so much for honestly first taking time out of your busy schedule. We have S Maxwell tuning in from Atlanta, and I really wanted to get you on the show just to kind of share your insight when it comes to the CEO mindset. You
Mhm.
are a business coach for women of color. You have written a book. But before we dive into the main topic of really focusing on CEO mindset and business and burnout, all the things, please share with the audience who you are and what you do, and then we'll go from there.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chevy. So, my name is Cassandra, as I mentioned earlier. Yes. So, I'm a life coach and I work mostly with women of color to help them creating a fulfilled life, also help them kickstart coaching businesses. So, for me, I'm from Haiti. I'm Haitian, so I was born and raised there and moved to Canada 2.5 years ago. And it's always for me a pleasure to really talk to women, especially women of color, because not only we can relate, but also I've been through the experience. I've been a woman of color my whole life, so of course I understand the challenges of being a woman of color, a woman who is thriving for more and also wanting to do more than what society has conditioned us to do. So most of my mission is really helping women, having their own voice and,
Mhm.
doing, creating their own path and to what they want to become, who they want to become, and live fulfilled.
I love that. And I can definitely relate to you because being from South America, Guyana, as a foreigner and someone who's ambitious and driven and wants to have a fulfilled life, I definitely understand and why that mission is so important to you. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm happy to have you. But before we go into the meat of the conversation, what made you tap into becoming a certified life coach? Like, what was it like you decide what happened in your life that you decided to say, hey, I need to do this?
Yes. So this is a question that I get a lot because a lot of time people change their lives when they hit rock bottom, when it went for the worst. My story was different because my life was wonderful, as opposed to a lot of women of my age when I started this business because, was having the dream job that everyone want to job. I was working for the UN. So
Oh,
of course,
wow.
and I was very young and I was having, leadership positions and people really wanted to have these kind of jobs. But yet I was happy with the job, but I was not fulfilled inside. It was
Mm.
this lack inside. So I would say, yes, the work I'm doing is quote unquote impactful, but I felt something was missing, and I was looking for this missing link. And I felt like I needed to be, more personal in the way I was helping others and also get to the root, like society, especially in Haiti, has an issue. But when you touch the individual, it's easier for you to make an impact on this person's life and this person can create the domino effect in the society. And the most vulnerable demography in Haiti is always, the women. So women, they are strong, they are intelligent, they are smart. However, they undervalue their values.
Mm.
So that was when I was like, I need to really work more with women and empower them to become, who they want to be, because they have big dreams, but they have been shut down just because they are women. So, and I felt like I was lucky because my parents, especially my dad, really instilled that in me, like, you can do anything. And we are three daughters, and I'm the eldest. So of course, he had to really instill some
Mold you, yes.
Yes,
Develop you, yes.
exactly. Because he always say that, because even if you're smart and intelligent, men are whether intimidated by you or they try to belittle you. So
Yes.
my dad didn't want me to be in any part of those categories. He wanted me to be me. And really, I sometimes I used to feel annoyed, but
Mm.
I am glad he did that, because I was able to live as I wanted in a society where men is more valued than women. So, and this is when I started, looking into what can I do. And then people say, "Oh, you're always helping people. You're always, doing a conference, helping and seminars and stuff like that. And you can be, a life coach." I was like, "What's that?"
What is this new thing that you're telling me that I need to do?
Exactly. I was like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
So this is when I started browsing the internet. I've seen people, doing, online courses. I was like, maybe I will be doing an online course and stuff like that. But then I took this test, this assessment, saying that what kind of coach you can be. So I really started, doing the survey, and
Yes.
everyone's that I found in the internet say, "Oh, you should be a life coach." I was like, "Well, I guess this is what it is. I'll be a life coach." And I took the exam, and I took the class and the exam, and I started talking to people, and my one of my brother-in-laws, he said, "Oh, this is what you used to do, like, for free all the time." So
Mm.
yeah, so now may I ask whether you start charging? It's like, you know what?
It
You're right.
makes sense.
Exactly. So this is how, I left, the 9 to 5 life, and then I started my business with no plan in
Yes. And that's
2019.
okay. That
Yes,
is okay.
yes. And really, I started helping a lot of women, and some women just, the moment I said I was like, I was having a life coaching business, I was all like fully booked in less than 48 hours.
Wow. Amazing.
Yes, because people were looking like at my life and the way I was living life. And I've never thought people, really were observing me.
Mm.
And I felt like I am not just, a life coach. I will be like a mentor, because I live by what I teach my
Mm.
clients. Because for me, it's very important to
Yes.
be to be living in integrity. Because
A
the way
hundred
I'm
percent.
pushing people, to do, the healthy stuff, you have to be healthy in every aspect of your life. I am doing it too. So for me, it's very important. And this is the story. So because
No.
it's very long, and I can really share a lot of things, but I feel like for the purpose of this podcast, let's just, shorten it. Maybe another time I can share more.
Yes, no, thank you for that, Cassandra, because honestly, what you shared was a lot of different nuggets. So I want to kind of go back and kind of pull some stuff from there.
Mhm.
And, like, S. Maxwell shared in the chat, and she said so many women are, we're ambitious, yet we're most reluctant to step forward to
Mhm.
advance ourselves. And, you were in that place is like you said, hey, I had a beautiful job,
Yes,
but you wasn't fulfilled. And how
exactly.
many career women are in the position of, like you shared, where
Mhm.
they're in a job and they don't trust themselves to step forward. They don't trust
Yes.
themselves to say, you know what, let me shift my mindset and take
Mhm.
this leap of faith.
Yes.
And yes, you did. You said you didn't have a plan, but you
No.
knew like, hey, if it doesn't work out, I'll figure it out some way,
Yes.
somehow.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing that. And how did it feel when you transitioned, when you made that shift from, going from a secure 9 to 5 because we're
Mhm.
focused on the mindset piece. Because
Yes.
in order for a lot of individuals to step forward and make the
Mhm.
decision, it has to start in the mind. So how was
Exactly.
that for you?
I would say it was not scary because I have this confidence. Sometimes I think it's overconfident that I can succeed in everything that I'm doing.
Mm, I love that
However,
mindset.
yes, however, people around me were like, "Oh my goodness, you were so good at this job. You were really getting well paid, whatever." I have to shut a lot of noise and focus on me because I always say that I'm a rebel. When you say I cannot do something, I'll do it. I'll take pictures and I'll send it to you.
I
Yes.
love that. Like, here's my proof. Thank you.
Yes.
Have a great
So
day.
exactly. So now a lot of people say, "Oh my goodness, see now you're doing this whatsoever," because I really love my freedom. That's one of the things too I really cherish. And when it comes to really living my life, I really cherish freedom. And
Mm,
I'm too direct, too blunt to always have a boss because I will tell it as it is. A lot of my friends call me no filter because I
mm-hmm.
have no filter for real. So it was like when I first started, I didn't mind because the first thing I did, I hired a coach because
Yes.
I was like, you know what, I I had no idea what life coach was even is, like
Mm-hmm.
so I need guidance. I need someone to show me the way of the business. I know what I'm doing, but in terms of the business in the online space, I was not really good at it. So I had to find the guidance that I needed. So she was really sweet and help. She was also like just one step forward of me, which
Mm-hmm.
was fine with me because I could talk to her and she would understand where I am because not long ago she was where I was. So for me, it was really having this accountability, having this
Mm.
guidance was really a game changer because when everyone else outside of the coaching industry was talking, it was easy for me to shut them and focus on what it is that my coach was helping me with because she knew what she was talking. So I was not taking advice from people who had no idea of what I wanted to do, of where I wanted to go, instead focusing on someone who was there and knew the way. And I think that was really something that really helped more in terms of keeping my mindset and keeping the focus on what I needed to do. Yeah.
Awesome. And I love how you said keeping the focus
Yes.
of what you need to focus on and to execute to get to your goal.
Yes.
And the fact that you decided to invest in a coach
Yeah.
speaks volume because so often, sometimes people are afraid to make the decision to leap and step into whatever that thing is, but they
Yes.
think they have to do it alone.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just sharing that great example like, hey, even though you might be scared, do understand you
Yeah.
can have support, you can
Yeah.
have accountability to help you get through this phase of, if you're looking to launch your business,
Yeah.
so that you're not sitting back wondering and reflecting over
Mm-hmm.
and over, hey, should I do this, should I do this, I want to launch my business, but I'm questioning my doubt. Even though
Yes.
you have all the qualifications,
Yes.
and even like he said, your brother-in-law shared, hey, this is what you were doing for years for other people, and
Yes.
now
Yeah.
you're doing it and you're getting paid for it. So thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
that. So were there any doubts as you were navigating into this new career? Because as women, we know there's more that we can do, that brings more joy, more passion. Because, like you said, it brings you more freedom, and you love
Yeah.
what you do because you were in a 9 to 5,
Yeah.
and yes, you were making an impact in that environment,
Yeah.
but it wasn't true impact and fulfilled impact for you.
Yeah.
So, were there any doubts as you were navigating? Because this is uncertain territory. Because as a new life coach, it's like, what is this? I have to research.
Yes. I know, right? The dots were mostly were within me, like, oh, am I really able to deliver that?
Mm,
Not only like if I can do it or whatsoever, but like more of the result, because you always doubt that because like when I saw like people started to really come, you start saying to myself, oh my goodness, I saw that, like, oh my goodness, what if I can really help them with the result that I promised that I will
yes.
help them with. So I would say, like, because of my coach was like, okay, but you are responsible to show up and do the best that you can for your clients, but also they are responsible to show up too. But thankfully, I was like till now, I have like a 100% success with my clients. None of them had asked for refund or complained. Yes, instead, like I have had some of them who came back to me, like like even if they left and after 1 year, 2 years, they came back to me. So this really is proof that, well, I've done my best, I've done a good job, and I've helped them get the result they came to me for. So I'll say it's always here as women, especially, we always have this, the self competence doubt, because we're always wondering, because we feel like, especially women of color, we feel like we have to be 5 times better than
Mm-hmm.
everyone else, whether it's
Yes.
the white man, the white woman, the black man, because we are not only women as a minority, but also we are women of color.
Yes.
So we always have, this heavy load on our shoulders. But one thing that I always felt like, I was like, if I was able to go to college, amongst all those white people, if I was able to go to college in another country and, pass all those, exams and everything, I feel like those competence that I have and people have, found results even before they were paying me from them. I believe that I can do that. But, from time to time, the doubts, they come. But having accountability, but also knowing how to coach yourself, because I know you do that too, Chevy. Self coaching is really important, because when you're able to coach yourself, having all those voices talking to
Yes.
yourself, I guarantee it will be very easy for you to be able to navigate the self doubts and coach your clients. Yeah.
100%. I love that because I love how you shared self coaching is key. Like
Yes.
if you are going through mental drama where you have all these chatters going on in your head, learn how to self coach
Yeah.
because I've done it. I've gone through anxiety, that fear mindset, and I
Yeah.
had to reprogram my brain, re like talk to myself every day, like, hey, you're
Yeah.
not going crazy. And I
Yeah.
had to find ways to navigate how do I bring forward a different aspect of how I see life
Yes.
because I went through a trauma and now I'm
Mhm.
bringing that trauma into my life and that was not how I wanted to live. So
Exactly.
self-coaching is essential as you navigate business,
Mhm.
career, parenting, all of it. All of
Everything.
it.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you for that. So when it comes to your clients, what were some mindset challenges that you noticed when they came to you to receive coaching to get to, as women to step into that fulfilled life or even launch their businesses?
I would say the biggest ones were money mindset,
Mm.
and also the comparison. It's a layered onion. So under the comparison, you have, the self competence doubts, and also what other people are expecting, the fear of men, the expectation that other people set for them, not they
Mm.
set for themselves. So I'll say both, like the big groups of money mindset and really the comparison um, mindset blocks. Because if you are from the what they call the third world countries,
Yes. It's like what?
yes,
Oh
yes,
yes. Oh
and
yes.
now you're like openly talking about, oh, 5K, what's up? And you're talking about 5K US because they know
Hmm.
5K in their currency.
Yes.
But also knowing that how the economy is challenging in those countries, because to remember, I was living in Haiti when I started my business.
Oh wow.
So yes, so it's such a challenging economy. And now you coming to the people face, you're talking about, 5K USK,
Hmm.
not 5K in goods, the Haitian goods,
Yes.
but and this really is overwhelming for them because they've never seen 5K. They've
Yeah.
how are you asking them to invest 5K? You
Hmm.
know? So even those who have, like, a better money mindset, it was still challenging for them because they've never seen it. They've never seen their parents have 5K at once. They've probably touched 5K, like 100
Yes.
this year, 100 next year, whatsoever, but not in one, like just at once. But still, like really working through your money mindset is really a rooted issue because you have to go back to your parents, and also you as a person and what you want to believe in the future. It's the worst part, what you really want to believe and what you really believe. Because you may say, oh, 2K, yes, I've worked on my mindset. But when it comes to really take actions, um, based on that 2K, is it true that you really believe that investing 2K is worth investing? And also, are you getting the ROI? Because a lot of time, the reason why we don't get the ROI when we invest is also rooted with our money mindset issues. And
Yes.
comparison is because our parents are guilty of that. They compare the siblings
Mm-hmm.
and also the school system. They have, you have first place, second place, and sometimes if you were like, in the last place, you have to sit in certain areas of the class. See, like this is something that started since we are kids. So it's not at all fault that we have those, mindset blocks, but it's because we've been, cultured in these environments. And shifting your mind, from 20 something years
Mm.
of, accepting and then integrating those kind of things in your life is really hard. You have to be really intentional and be willing to do the work, be proactive in doing the work on a daily basis.
Exactly. And money mindset is a big topic
Yeah.
in the industry, I think in life, because depending,
Yes.
like you said, is generation. You may grow up with a parents where like money was a scarcity mindset. They didn't
Yes.
want to spend. And
Mhm.
sometimes I share with my siblings or friends of what I've invested in coaching, and it's like, whoa, I can't believe. But
Yes.
again, going back to the mindset piece as a business owner,
Mhm.
and going back to what you said, belief. Like,
Yes.
I'm not just believing to say, hey, you know what, my business will make X amount of money.
Mhm.
No, I'm truly believing, like, yes, Mac Leadership Academy will be a multi-million dollar company as
Yes.
time progresses, because I truly believe that in my mindset. But I'm
Yes.
taking action towards that. That's
Yes.
actions through investment, through
Mhm.
coaching, training, developing myself, going to conferences. Because
Yes.
sometimes people may say, well, I don't have a strong money. Well, I have a strong money mindset, but what actions are you taking?
Exactly.
Like, like, don't come over here and tell me, yes, your money mindset is strong, but there's no actions behind it. And you say, oh, well, it's not working.
Mhm.
Then there's no true belief, because you're not taking the
Exactly.
actions to go along with the belief. So awesome.
Exactly.
Awesome. So thank you for that. Lots of great nuggets. Hopefully you guys are taking away things. If you're still feeling this conversation, if there was something that you can already take away when it comes to mindset, drop it in the chat, because we are here on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and in my Facebook group, and also on YouTube. So as a CEO and as a business owner in general, you're dealing with individuals who are looking to have a more fulfilled life, and some of them may want to, launch their businesses. Part of running or launching your own business or being an entrepreneur comes with a lot of responsibilities.
Yes.
So since you've navigated from 9 to 5 to your full-time entrepreneur, because I'm about to step into that space as I transition out of the military.
Yeah.
When it comes to burnout, did you experience any type of burnout like through your transition, and how did it show up for you?
Actually, I would not say burnout per se,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes we say we are burned out is just because our brain is not used to what you're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel like it's shut down and you feel like, oh, I'm burned out. No. And also sometimes you feel overwhelmed. It's because your mind is wanting to step to another level, but your emotion is not
Expansion.
connected. Yes. And you're not connected yet in your feelings, in your emotion, and it makes you feel like you are overwhelmed. I would say for me, I am a recovered perfectionist.
Okay.
And a
Break
recovered
that down for us, because some
yes.
people, because I am like, hey, let's make it happen. Let's go. We'll figure it out. And some people
Yeah.
are like, hey, I need all the plans. I need all the
Yes.
everything in place. So share a
Yes.
little bit more about that.
Yeah. So I'm both, both a recovered perfectionist and a recovered workaholic because
Mm,
I really love working. So I felt at the beginning that I had to really slave myself to get the results that I needed. I will say that I am someone who with really strong boundaries in my personal life. But
mhm.
when I started the business, I feel like the scarcity I had, like will I be able to give the result
The
to my clients,
results.
really made me step outside of my boundaries, and I had no professional boundaries. So
Mm,
I would say this really got me in a state of burnout, but it's
mhm.
just because I had no boundaries whatsoever. I felt like I had to be available 24/7. Well, not 24/7, 6 days a week because I'm Seventh-day Adventist. So my Sabbath is sacred. So no one texts
Yes.
me on Sabbath. Yes. Because I'm not answering for real. Yes.
I
Yes.
love it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this one was really like, that's why I like Sabbath really gave me some kind of boundaries. But when and on the order is from Sunday to Friday, I had no boundaries whatsoever, and this really walked my butt because I was really like giving myself to my clients. So when I figured that, I was like, okay, I need to talk the talk and walk the walk.
Mm,
Because if I'm helping people to really, prioritizing themselves and being and investing in every area of their lives, I have to do it for myself. I'm preaching people to set boundaries. I have personal boundaries, but no professional boundaries. I have to set that.
yeah.
So really like boundaries and also practicing, I'll say that practicing self-care is
Yes.
the key because self-care is multidimensional and it's in every areas of our lives. So if you proactively set plans to be taking care of yourself and saying, okay, if I'm not good, I cannot deliver my best to my clients. If I'm
And
not good, I cannot be the best wife to my husband or whatsoever. And having a certain, as I always say, equilibrium in your life, you will burn out. And I felt like that was where I would say that I really got burned out within, the first 3 months of me studying,
mhm.
coaching. But after that, I have been really strong on my boundaries. And I'll say sometime from time to time, I'll feel down because I'm human and I
Mm,
have a lot of
of
my
course.
mind in my
Yeah.
mind. But the good thing now is that I know how to get out of the situation.
Yes, yes. No, thank you for that. Katrina said, I love this topic. Yeah, and
I
yes, and this is a topic that we can talk about all day long, honestly,
Yes.
because as moms, as wives,
Mhm.
as siblings, sometimes you're still, you're taking care of family, mom, dad.
Mhm.
Then you
Yes.
still have your 9 to 5. Then if you have a little one, because I definitely understand the feel of overwhelmed, because I was at a point where I was, again, ambitious, driven, love being in the military. Education is my, like, that's my passion.
Yes.
And I was doing all the things.
Mhm.
And sometimes we don't stop to reflect and enjoy and celebrate
Yeah.
and take a pause, a mental pause. We're
Mhm.
just going.
Yes.
And that landed me in the hospital, which, because I was so focused on the next thing and
Yes.
family, that I neglected my self-care. So
Yes.
that incident, that trauma, stopped me in my track to be like, you know what? Let me start putting myself first, because I started dealing with anxiety, and that self-care piece saved me mentally,
Yes.
honestly. So
Yes.
I did a few things to overcome. Well, honestly, number one, I to settle my mind, because when I was going through that trans that situation, my
Mhm.
mind was on 24/7, and it wasn't healthy. And
No.
as a new mom, because my son was 6 months at the time, and I had to self-coach, self-talk to myself so
Mhm.
that I didn't take action on things that I was thinking about.
Yeah.
So, but again, that comes from doing so much, being overwhelmed, feeling burnt out. But what is something, maybe two things a woman can start doing now to kind of get herself out of that? Because more than likely she's doing all the things. They come to you, they're probably doing all the things.
Yes. So one thing for sure. So if you've been following me for a long time, I don't know your audience, so you will know I always talk about, investing in all three areas of your life at the same time.
Mm,
Not in the same, like not the same moment, but at the same time. So every day, focus on your physical, personal, and professional life. What does that mean? So your physical life is all about, mental and physical life. So your spirituality, your relationship with yourself, and also your relationship with your physical body, like exercising, moving your body. Personal is always taking time to, have like personal time with your husband, your mom, your dad, your family. Have those times. Professional life, always focus on growing professionally as always, because we need to get this money home, right? So yes,
I'm
but
with you, yes.
exactly. So unfortunately, and that's why for me, I never separate, business and life. That's why I
Mm,
always say to myself, I am a life coach, because business is part of life.
yeah.
Because when you proactively invest in those areas of your life every day with equity, not equality, because 2 hours may be needed for your physical life, while you just need 1 hour for your personal life. And that's why I always say equity, not equality. Because for me, when you proactively plan to do all those things in every areas of your life every day, this is a game changer. This is why in my mission of becoming her, the H
Mm,
is health. To be healthy physically, personally, and professionally. And to do
yes.
that, it's practicing self-care on a daily basis in all these areas.
I
Yeah.
love that. And when it comes to my self care, it is a priority because I've
Yes.
neglected myself in the past, being the mom, being the wife. I'm divorced
Mhm.
now, which I'm good. Yo, I'm good. But just setting boundaries because like you said, I love it, is your personal, professional, health is all three. And
Yes.
self-care, like personal, make sure that you're taking time for you. Like
Yes.
Katrina said, our health is our wealth. It truly is, because
Yes.
I'm 1,000%, a billion percent like, hey, you cannot have the life that you want if your health, your mental health is not where it needs to be.
Not.
You can have
No.
all the money, and guess what?
Mhm.
You're not able to enjoy it because your mindset is not where it needs to be.
Yeah.
So it needs to
Yeah.
be a priority. And also we have to set boundaries because as business owners, like you said in the beginning, you were like, hey, I'm available for you. And they're
Yeah.
like, I will take it. I'm gonna be
Exactly.
but that impacts our overall health as well, to our mental well-being as well, to because our mind, that means our minds are consistently on all the time trying to find a solution for the next person and the next person. um
Yes.
so thank you for that. That was pretty awesome. And Katrina said all things. Yeah, so we talked about burnout, we talked about self-care. Let's focus on resiliency. Being in the military, we focus a lot on being resilient. And
Yes.
I love the word resilient because it really focuses on how do you bounce back from life, from
Mm-hmm.
that are happening.
Yes.
And I've been in the military, you have to be resilient. Yes, you're going to go through challenges, and some days you feel like you cannot continue because you're just mentally exhausted, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to find that within yourself to
Yes.
continue. Can you share an example where you felt like, hey, let me tap into my resilient to get through this situation, whether that's life or even in business?
Yes. So I have these three pillars that I talk a lot about when it comes to how what to do when you need to bounce back from when you get hit rock bottom. So
Mhm.
but that's why I always focus on, you need to have like a personal circle,
Mm,
people in your personal circle that even though they don't understand your business, but they will be here for you whenever you need the support. And also I focus on you need to find your professional circle, like
mm,
people who are in business too, because some stuff you're going through, they have went through them They
Yes.
know what to do. And the third, I always focus on having, a resiliency basket system, somewhere you can, take from when you are in a bad time, because the brain is really wired to be efficient and safe. So it will try to keep you safe. Sometimes you're not even in danger, but your brain, because it's new, perceive it as, danger. But when you have your resiliency system here, you are able to go back there and say, oh, I've done this. That was worse. And I've came out of it, you know? And it's always remembering to yourself what you have done in the past, what you have survived that has made you stronger, that this little thing is nothing. Like for me, like I always say to people, if you are from Haiti, it's easy for you to be a mindset coach, because listen, we've been through a lot, and
Yes.
and Haiti's still going through a lot now. Because like I myself, I survived from the 2010 earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
I survived from everything else that had happened afterwards. And sometimes when life thinks it can lifing on me, I said, "Whoa, remember I'm from Haiti. Life,
Mm-hmm.
we can box through that, because I think I'm
Yes.
stronger than this little thing that is throwing at me." It's always remembering what you've been through and how you've came out of it, and that you are stronger today than you were tomorrow. And sometimes the thing is just new. It's not that challenging for Will.
Oh yes, I definitely agree 100% because being from Guyana, and I tell my kids, I have three kids, and especially my daughter who's 18 in
Yeah.
college, and even going off to college, I talked to her. Her and I had a conversation, and I told her like, hey, you're gonna go through some days where you don't feel good. You may
Yeah.
feel a little anxious, a little anxiety. You may feel depressed. I said, but I need you to tap into your mindset. And this is what I'm telling her. And, she's like, Mommy, I know how to navigate. And I'm like, it's different because
Yes.
sometimes you're going to be in the room by yourself
Yeah.
and your mind is going to start taking you places that
Hmm.
you didn't expect. So I'm
Yes.
just, again, telling her, hey, figure out ways how you cope with
Yes.
settling your mind to
Mhm.
recenter in yourself because it's not it's not a good feeling when you feel like your mind is taking you astray to a place where you're scared, like, oh my god, 'cause
Yes. Yes.
we all have been there.
Yes.
Um, but what would you say to someone who has not gone through? Because not every woman has gone through the some a challenge to overcome and build that resiliency. Because maybe you may have a young woman who is really thinking about maybe she's in college and she's
Yeah.
working a job and she's looking at launching her own business,
Mhm.
but she hasn't truly experienced that little shot yet.
Yes.
So what would you say to that woman who to build her resilience? It could be one thing, doesn't have to be anything
Yes.
a
So,
whole lot.
so for me, as I mentioned earlier, like your brain doesn't like new things. So sometimes something is just new but not challenging. So really ask yourself, is it that dangerous? And ask yourself, the best scenario that could happen when you take the step. Because a lot of time, because our brain, the way our brain is, it always make us think of the what if the wrong way.
Hmm.
But instead of saying what if I fail, say what if you fly, what if you succeed,
Hmm.
because like the mind wanders just because it's new.
Hmm.
But sometimes you have to take charge of your mind to make sure that you say, Gwen, yeah,
Not today.
not today. We're just moving forward. You will see it will be fine,
Yes.
because your brain will try to to hold you back. But because now you know that this is the job of your brain, you know
Hmm.
that it's your job now, your responsibility to make it be used to other stuff than what you've been used to before. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you for that. And I just want to add, when it comes to our brain, everything that is in there, we generate.
Yes.
So we
Yes.
get to choose what goes in there, and I definitely understand it can be very challenging for some people to switch into getting out of that negative mindset or that fear mindset.
Mhm.
But like we talked about today is how consistently are you doing self
Yes.
talk to
Yeah.
yourself. And when I say
Mhm.
self talk, like not to saying, hey, I'm a piece of crap or man, I don't
No.
achieve, because people
No.
do that. Sometimes I have to remind my best friend, and she'll say something. I was like, do not talk to yourself like that, or do not reference yourself like that. And she's like, girl, I'm joking. But even if you're joking, it's still
Mm-hmm.
registering in your brain, because what happens, and I love neuroscience, and I love understanding, the
Yes.
brain. And that's why I got certified as a neuroscience coach and leader, because the more that you're able to understand what's going on in here, you are
Yes.
able to navigate stress, life much easier. Not saying it's going to be easy all the
Yes.
time, but I'm telling you, the fact that I was able to go through the certification,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed a difference in myself and how I, like, when things happen, I
Yeah.
go into my head. No, this is, I'm
Yes.
controlling this, the response. And even when I respond to my kids, when
Mm-hmm.
my daughter she got her first ticket and she's crying. And usually I'm that parent, like, what the? But because I
Yeah.
was in a program and understand, hey, her brain is still developing. They're going to make decision that doesn't make sense to me at
Yes.
this moment, because her brain is not where it needs to be, as not until she's 25. So she's going to
Yeah.
make dumb mistake, but in her head, this was the right mistake for me to
Exactly.
get home in time.
Yes.
But only
Uh,
made it worse. So no, I think the biggest thing, when it comes for me, mindset, you control it. And I
mm-hmm.
love that you are really focused on the mindset piece of helping
Yes.
women overcome their challenges, overcome their imposter syndrome, to step into the thing that they truly want to step into, because they're allowing
Exactly.
fear right now to hold them back.
Yes.
So as a business owner, when it comes to, we talked about mindset, we talked about burnout, all the things. What
Yes.
advice can you give to the woman who is thinking, like, maybe she's feeling stuck right now, and or maybe she's in her business and she just feel mentally overwhelmed right now? What do you want to say to her right now to get her to kind of take some action and move forward?
So the first action I always mention, because as you shared to Chevy, is like everything start with your thoughts. So as I mentioned also in the first chapter of my book, is like go through a thought renovation.
Mm.
Thought renovation, really understanding, having the self awareness, understanding your thoughts and where they are coming from.
Yes.
Because sometimes, we get influenced by so many things, what we see, what we touch, we smell, hear, whatsoever. But take the time to understand, because the weird thing is that our thoughts go so fast
Yes.
that we don't always have the time to catch them. Sometimes you may be crying but you don't know why. But if you understand how your body as a human functions, you will take the time to go through the emotion and understanding, okay, what happened
Yes.
before I start crying? What thought I had when this happened? Being aware, self-awareness is really key when it comes to understanding and on knowing how to navigate through things. Yes, you're feeling stuck, but what makes you feel stuck? Because
Yes.
sometimes stuck is that you're not stuck. It's just a response from your brain of something that is going on that you're not aware.
Yes. That
You
you're
know,
holding on to. Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Because sometimes we have things here, we're just resisting it unconsciously.
Mm.
Sometimes we are conscious, but most of the time we're not aware of them. But if you take the time to do the work, the
Yes.
mindset work, because it's really important to go through your thoughts, understanding them, challenge them,
Yes.
you will find what really make you feel stuck. Because being stuck is not really a state of being. It's just an emotion. You feeling stuck. That's why we say we feel stuck, because you're not stuck, because you can move, you can stop. Yes,
I love that. Yes. So
you just
it's just,
it's just a feeling.
it is a feeling, but also it's a belief. It's a
Yeah,
belief that you have generated for yourself to think, hey, I
exactly.
am stuck.
Yes.
But hiring a mindset coach, or
Yeah.
a coach like yourself to help them get unstuck is key.
Yes.
No, I love
Because
that.
yes,
Continue.
are you really stuck? No. But but this has happened to all of us.
Yes.
So don't feel like, oh, I'm picking on anyone, because I have said to myself, oh, I'm stuck.
Mm-hmm.
But am I really stuck?
No,
No.
you're
I
not.
can still move. I'm talking. I'm using my hands because I talk with my hands a lot. Yeah, so I am not stuck. But just go to don't be afraid to peel the onion
Yeah,
layers,
yes.
because this is where you will find the answer to really shift this feeling and this belief of being stuck. Yeah.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And one thing I want to kind of pull out of that is be willing to do the work, the mindset work,
Yes.
because I think so often as individuals we're comfortable doing the actionable things, like
Mm-hmm.
touching, we're moving things. But when it comes to the mental work, we're afraid to tap into that because sometimes our minds are
Wonders.
exactly, exactly. So I think that it's so key for us to get comfortable being alone, get
Yeah.
comfortable sitting with your thoughts and learning how to
Mhm.
navigate those thoughts where you're able to shift from
Mhm.
thinking that, hey, I'm stuck
Yeah.
or I'm not good enough. I'm afraid to
Yes.
do this. I'm afraid to make this decision because
Mhm.
everything is controlled by you. Everything is
Yes.
controlled by the brain, your executive brain. You get to make those decisions. So this has been a great conversation, but I want to know, like, share a little bit about your book. Like,
Yes. So,
and why did you decide to write this book? What is the title of the book?
okay, okay. So
Yes.
the title of the book is Becoming Her, the Blueprint to Your Fulfilled Life.
Yes.
So this book, always wanted to write a book because I really love writing. But sometimes when you don't have the right guidance, you just procrastinate
Yes.
over and over. So last year I was really tapping into everything that I needed to do that I haven't done. The promises
Mm,
to myself I didn't keep. And then I was like looking, well, how do I really start writing this book? But you know what? Whenever you are looking for something, it's looking for you too. What
mm,
you're looking for is looking for you too. So out of nowhere, I stumbled upon my current book coach. And I was like, huh, she's interesting. And she's a woman of color. That's the
mm.
plus.
Yes.
Oh, so she's good at it. I'm telling you, she's so good that I wrote my book in 19 days.
Wow, that is amazing. That's on
19
my
days.
agenda for the year is to
Yes.
finish my book. So
Yes.
congratulations.
Yeah, exactly. So her name is Jasmine Womack. She is
Hmm.
really good at
I've
what
heard
she
of her.
does. Yes. And I had this book physically in my hand in 6 weeks of me
Wow.
starting writing it,
And
getting, the
publish it.
copyright and everything.
Wow.
Yes. So it was ordered, it was here in my hands in less than like in 6 weeks ish. So I
Hmm.
really started, selling it in like around 7 and 8 weeks. But to be telling you, this book, I wanted to write it because I needed to have something out there that it was affordable, more affordable than one-on-one coaching.
Hmm.
And also, thank you. Yes, I'll give the link here.
Yeah.
It's on my website. I'll share it later on. So really, being able to give a woman, a key to the doorway of
Mm.
accessing me, it's giving you a blueprint, but also to taste of what it is to work with me, because it's mostly what I coach that is here. But again, I would never be able to put everything that I will be able to coach someone in 3 months in just one book, but it's a start.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like, okay, even if you've never been, it will come to my one-on-one coaching, but at least you have this to give you a guidance, to give you a blueprint, to assist you in the start of your journey of creating a fulfilled life.
Yes. No, thank you for sharing that because what you just shared just an example of what you help women to do, which is
Yes.
what you want to do, let's make it happen. Because like you said, you
Yes.
make promises to yourself that you didn't follow through.
Yes.
So you're like, hey, I've said to myself, I want to write this book. And then
Yes.
I truly believe everything happens for a reason. The people that pass our, cross our path, relationship, friendship, everything happens for a reason. And the fact that that author who,
Mhm.
helps you write your book and you did it in 6 weeks, amazing. Because I've even
Yes.
said to myself, again, going back to believing and trusting yourself to follow through.
Yes.
Hey, I want to write a book. This was 5 years ago.
I
I
know,
said
right?
this, and I'm finally following through. So this is
Yes.
just a great example of what you do for women, helping them to really step into that fulfilled life of the things that they desire and want.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, at this age, I'm going to be 42 next week.
Really? You're so
Yes.
young. You look so young.
Thank you. I feel young, honestly. But
Yes.
it's just for me at this point in my life, like, and then transition out of the military after 22 plus
Yes.
years. Like, I want to make sure that I am doing things that fulfill me, which is that's why I'm like
Yes.
my business, my family, and my kids,
Yes.
but also making sure that I am the priority. Like, I am doing the things that
Exactly.
I want. I want to write the book. I'm going to write the book. So, as women, if you are listening to this, if you're listening to this later on, watching the replay, hopefully you're able to take things from this conversation when it comes to the mindset, the self-care, like stepping out of burnout, like really
Yes.
looking at how many hours are you working, what is your mental capacity, are you like so unrest in the mind that you cannot even sleep at
Yes.
night,
Mm-hmm.
because guess what, you have Cassandra, you have me, you can always reach out to us for support. But before we go, any last mic drop you want to drop? Because I've enjoyed this conversation, and I
Me
hope my
too.
audience enjoy this conversation as well too. And I would love for each of everyone who's watching in my Facebook group, here on LinkedIn, or even on YouTube, like drop in the comment, like what is one of your big takeaway? Like what was your aha moment listening to our conversation today? But any final thoughts, words, or encouragement that you would love to have for women of color, or just women in general when it comes to
Yeah.
mindset?
Yeah. So for women in general, you can just know that you have been created to support men. I think I'm going to the Christian part because I'm Christian, of course, so I will share that.
It's all
Because,
good.
yes,
All is welcome.
exactly. So God created women to support men. So you cannot support, nothing can support. If you're supporting, means that you're stronger. So don't let anyone make you think that you are weaker,
No, not at all.
the weak sex. No, you're not.
Mhm.
Because if you're not stronger, how could you support? Right? So I always say, like, you guys are twisting God's words. He's saying that
Mhm.
I'm here to support a man. So anything that's support means that this thing is stronger.
Yes, you're so
So don't let society make you shrink yourself. Settle down for less. Because listen, you are amazing. You can make anything turn out good because
yes.
we are born to be multipliers. We multiply everything.
Yes, we
Everything.
yes, we do.
We
Yes.
excel everything.
Yes.
So just remembering that alone, you will realize how strong that you are, how valuable that you are. And if you want it, you will take over the world however you want. So just follow the dream, follow whatever you want to do, and find people who will support you along the way. Because again, sometimes you have to give up on friends, family members
Yes.
to focus on you. Because again, as I've been talking a lot about self care is not selfish, is self love. So
Yes, it
if
is
you cannot
required.
love, yes. So if you cannot love yourself enough to take care of yourself, you cannot take care of others. Okay. Even the
Exactly.
Bible says it. So love yourself first before you love others.
I love it. Now, thank you for bringing a little bit of the spiritual stuff, and
Yes.
which is fine. I am comfortable sharing that. So hopefully, you all were able to listen and take away, because this conversation is truly about, as women, how are you shifting your mindset to step into the thing that you desire?
Yes.
So often you're saying you want to do this. So often you're saying, hey,
Mm-hmm.
next year I'm going to do this. The year is about to end. Do not wait until January of 2024 to make another shift in your life.
Yes.
Tap into your mental capacity and say, okay, what am I keep replaying in my head and telling myself that I cannot do or I'm afraid to do? And let
Yes.
that shit go and decide today, no more. Okay.
Yes.
How can people reach out to you and work with you if they love this conversation and will love to connect with you?
Yes, so on my website is basically my name, kassancherry.com. So where you will be able to find the book, find the link to book or call with me for a one-on-one coaching business, or whether to start your business or creating your fulfilled life and a bit deeper level. And also you can find me on Instagram with underscore Casa Sherry underscore. So basically always my name, the name that Chevy cannot pronounce yet.
I tried, y'all.
Yes,
I
yes,
tried. Like you said, it's
yes.
French.
Yes, it's French. Yes. So you will find me there. So for Instagram, it's underscore Cassadchérie underscore, but my website is cassadchérie.com without the accent because the website is not taking my accent. I don't know why. But you will find the book here. You will find the link to book a call with me, or just on Instagram, just go to my links. You will get the book, the sales call, and whatever that you want to. If you want just to chat, I'll be happy, or just follow me. I'll be happy to, and just say hi. I'm from Chevy's audience, and we can connect and do this journey together.
I love it. I love it. First of all, thank you so much. This was a really genuine conversation. I enjoyed it. Hopefully, the audience enjoyed it.
Ooh.
And like I said, as you all come back and watch the replay, drop in the chat like your takeaway. Reach out to Cassandra. Cassandra.
You're getting
I'm
there.
gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Like
Yes.
definitely reach out to her, honestly. And if you are struggling with mindset and you're looking to tap into a more fulfilled life, you're looking to launch your business, then reach out to her. Hit her up on Instagram, say hello, be like, hey, I found you on Chevy podcast, and she would love to connect with you. But this has been really grateful, a great conversation. Thank you so much. But also, if you would love to connect with me, just send me a DM on right here on LinkedIn, because this is my main platform, LinkedIn. But I'm also on IG at Mac Leadership Academy, and I would love to support you as well. But this is all about you, ma'am. Thank you again, and I'm looking forward to having you on the podcast in the future.
Of course, it was my pleasure. Again, I'm so happy that we had this call, on this podcast. No question prepared, and just two women of color sharing our experiences, sharing what it means for us to be CEOs and stepping into the CEO mindset. And really, oh, that's my pleasure. And really having this audience that is so warm and welcoming. I am happy, and also I was in my element. This is what I love talking about, and comfort of my home in the camera, because I love cameras. My husband
Awesome.
will tell you.
Yeah.
So yes, and I'm happy that we are having this conversation, and really hope that I can come back anytime soon
Yes.
to share more about other topics. And again, don't forget to reach out to Chevy. She is something, I'm telling you. She
Thank
is
you.
killing it. She okay. You know what? Just go to her pages. You will find out.
Yes, yes. No, thank you so much. This has been really great. And again, thank you all so much for joining us, and reach out to any one of us if you feel like, hey, you would love to support from the mindset and launching your business, or if you're ready to, if you have your own business already and you're in the corporates or in the corporate space and you would love to, have that shift in your mindset, your leadership and your well-being, then reach out to me by just sending me a quick message. But thank you all so much for joining, and we will see you all on the next episode. Bye.
Bye bye.